channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna, and today is my 30-week pregnancy update, and I'm bringing it to you from vacation. So we are in Arizona. We got here about 3 days ago, and it's been really nice to just get settled and get out of the cold of Minnesota, but it's really nice, and I figured I'd do it outside because there's actually sunshine and I have a good little shaded patio right here. So sorry if there's some background noise. I hope not. I got a new microphone, so hopefully it's just my voice and it's not too distracting, but there's a plane going by right now, so we'll see. I have a lot of stuff to update on. I don't think I've done an update since like 20 weeks. Has it really been 10 weeks since I've done an update? I feel like I maybe did one at 25 weeks. I don't know. Either way, I have a lot of stuff to update on. So first, I'll just tell you about the baby, and then I'll update you on all of my new symptoms and stats and things I went through the past month or so. But for now, stats on the baby. This is reading from the bump. At 30 weeks pregnant, baby is the size of a zucchini. It is about 15 inches and 2.8 pounds. So it is definitely getting bigger, and I am feeling that definitely. I'm getting pretty uncomfortable, but you know, that's just what happens, and we only got 10 weeks left, and it's absolutely flying by. So I'm doing well, but it is getting pretty uncomfortable. So let's see, what do I have to update on? I didn't really take time to like plan this out because I didn't think I'd be filming while we were here, but some symptoms I've been feeling is, this one is a little concerning, and I would love to hear if anyone else has experienced this or if I should get it like checked out or what. But I have this spot like near my belly button, and it's happened since my 20-week anatomy scan. When they were doing the scan, I felt like excruciating pain when they went over certain areas around that area, like my belly button. And I asked my doctor, and she said sometimes it's just they push a little hard and it, like your uterus is stretching, so it feels a little bruised, and it should go away in a few days. Well, we're 10 weeks after that now, and even when anything slightly bumps it, it's like excruciating pain. Like it feels like an internal bruise, and it hurts so bad it will bring me to tears sometimes, even if it's just a light little nudge. So I don't really know what that's about, and it kind of freaks me out, almost to the point where I don't want to know what it is. So if you've had that, let me know, and let me know if I need to get that checked out. But the next thing is contractions. So I started feeling Braxton Hicks contractions much earlier this time because my body sort of just knows what it feels like now. But I started feeling them probably like 9 weeks, I mentioned in a previous update. But for the past week or so, I've been getting consistent, really strong contractions for like an hour straight each day, and then they just randomly stop. And it got to the point where I almost called the midwife and asked what was happening. But then we left on a road trip, and I couldn't really do anything about it, and they stopped, and then they'll start and stop, and it's like 1 hour each day. So I don't know what that's about, if my body's just like, oh, I've done this before, so it's preparing or what, but it's kind of uncomfortable when it happens. Like it almost feels like early labor, and then it will just stop. So I don't know if that's normal or if I'm dehydrated or just been extra stressed lately. So we'll see. I'm definitely gonna ask the midwives at my next appointment, which I should probably mention. I don't think I've said this yet, but at about 26 weeks, I decided to switch to a birth center finally, and I feel really good about that decision. So I am seeing midwives now, and that is something I've always wanted for pregnancy, and I just decided to do it and to just put my worries behind me. So I did start seeing midwives, and they have eased my fears a lot on my circumvallate placenta condition and just what would happen in case of emergency, and how emergencies like that are so rare that even with this condition that I possibly have or do have, it's really not that big of a deal to be worried about, especially since we're only like 2 minutes from a really high-rated hospital. So I'm really excited to be going to a birth center. The reason I say I might have circumvallate placenta now is because I'm getting a second opinion when we get back from our vacation, just to see, because the midwife seemed very confused as to why my OB would tell me I have that condition when normally they don't catch it until you have your baby. So they're just going to give me a second ultrasound to give me peace of mind and tell me what the actual risks are and if I actually have it or if it's a partial or a full or what, just to, ease my own mind. So with switching, this is the exciting part. If you've been around for a while and you were watching my last pregnancy updates and stuff, you know that I did not do well with the glucose test, and with all of my digestive stomach problems I have, the glucola drink is not my friend. And I know everyone feels kind of like yucky after drinking it, especially after the 3-hour test, but it was a disaster after the 3-hour test for me. I begged and begged them not to make me do the 3-hour test with my previous pregnancy, but since that was all they offered at the hospital, I wanted to make sure that I wanted to make sure I did not have gestational diabetes for the sake of my baby and just make sure that she was safe and everything. So I did end up taking the 3-hour glucola drink test because I failed my 1 hour. And I got so sick for a couple days afterwards because I have so many intestinal problems. And now in the past year, I've also developed a allergy to corn derivatives, so cornmeal, cornstarch, sometimes corn syrups. And the glucola drink is, wow, so many aircrafts. But as I was saying, the glucola drink is, the sugar they use in it is from corn, so I knew that it would not be good if I took it again. And that was kind of my deciding factor of making the switch to a birth center and going with midwives rather than my typical OB, because I knew it was going to be such a hassle to try and ask for an alternative, not to get out of the test, but just like an alternative test, because I knew that it wasn't going to be good for me for days afterwards. So I switched to the birth center, and they had 3 different options for the glucose test. You could take the glucola, you can take an organic glucola, or you can take your blood sugars with finger pricking every day, 4 times a day for a week. And I was gonna do the organic drink, but it still had corn syrup in it, and I know that with my allergy to corn, that would just not be smart of me to do. So I did decide to do the blood draws every day, and I did that for a week, which was, it was like, this kind of stinks because I could just do the test and drink it and be done with it, but it was so much better knowing that I wasn't gonna feel sick for days because I took a test for 1 hour, if that makes sense. Like, to me, it was just worth it to take my blood 4 times a day. So I just bought like a glucometer from Walmart, and then I had to track what I ate every day, and then took my blood after every meal and on a fasting blood sugar. I haven't heard back from my midwife yet, but my numbers from what I looked up looked pretty good. So I don't think I have a concern for gestational diabetes, which is really great because that does run in my family. So I'm glad that my numbers were looking good. The blood draws worked out for me, and I'm so grateful that the midwives took my my health, I guess, seriously, because the doctors that I saw with Hazel did not. They thought that I just didn't want to take it because it was gross, and that's not the case at all, because I didn't really think it was that gross. I kind of liked it, to be honest. But the midwives really took into consideration how it would cause stress on my body and stress on the baby as well if I were to get sick from the drink. So I'm so thankful for the birth center, and I'm so excited to give birth there. Like, you have no idea. I'm just so excited. But other than that, I don't really know if I have anything else to update on. I haven't had too many symptoms. I have been feeling really uncomfortable, like I mentioned at the beginning. Just my hips are getting really sore, and baby is feeling very, very heavy now, which is good because she's growing, and that's good. But yeah, it's getting kind of difficult, and I'm ready for 40 weeks to be here. I know that sounds kind of bad, but I am getting a little bit tired of being pregnant already, and I remember feeling this way at 30 weeks with Hazel too. Just my body was sort of done for, but we can do it. I'm almost there. We can do it. I did have one more thing to mention, and that was, I think this is the last thing, and that was at about 28 weeks, I started getting some like morning sickness again. I never threw up, but I just did not have an appetite, and I was so nauseous. Nothing sounded good, and it's still like that sometimes, but I haven't thrown up. But it just is like the normal nauseousness feelings that you get in the first trimester. Nothing compared to what it was in the first trimester, but just a little bit where it's like nagging, you know? But yeah, so I feel like I'm missing something. Something fun. I am missing something, and it's something fun. We decided on a name, and I would love to share it with you guys, but Josh really likes to keep it a secret, so we are keeping it a secret. And he did say that I could possibly share the first initial, so maybe I'll do that in a little bit. Maybe I'll do that in a couple videos or something. But I'm so excited because I was set on this one name that Josh did not like very much, and he was set on this one name that I did not like very much. But we settled on one, and it ended up being the name that he picked. So I love it now, and I'm so excited. I call her it all the time, and I actually almost slip up around people because we're not telling anyone. Obviously we told Hazel, but otherwise we're not telling family or anything. So I'm so excited to share it though, and it's so fun to have a name because she has like, I feel like I build a better relationship with her now. But I'm excited for you guys to hear it, and yeah, I think that's all for this update. Sorry if it was a little chaotic. My mind is jumbled because there's so many things going on around outside of me. What? That did not make sense. What I meant to say was, sorry if I'm a little jumbled. There's so many things going on around me right now. But I hope that I covered everything, and yeah, it was good to make a video. Sorry I missed last week, or possibly the last 2 weeks uploads. It's been crazy just getting ready for this road trip and stuff, so. But that's all, and I'm sure you'll see more footage of this trip, especially if you follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting there a lot, and I do hope to make an actual like travel vlog of this trip too. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you back next time. Bye.